morning, guys. Today we are kicking off our morning with going to the biggest spot in Athens, which is climbing to the top of the Acropolis and seeing the Parthenon.
And so the Acropolis is on top of the big hill. It's like the iconic thing that you see in all the pictures of Athens. But it's not just the Parthenon on the top. There's tons of other buildings, and so we're gonna learn all about those today and go see them all.
There is a ton of activity already going on up here. We were warned about long lines, but we hope that since we already have a ticket, we'll be able to pass that and go straight in, but we'll see. So we got into the site here, but they made us take our mic away. So we don't have that on anymore, so we hope it sounds okay. But this is the busiest tourist site I think we've ever been to.
It's crazy, so busy.
Yeah, tons and tons of people, and you're like just sardine going up and out. And there are, at all of these sites, tons of people that are watching over the sites, just making sure that people are doing what they're supposed to be doing and not touching the marble or messing up anything, setting on things they shouldn't be setting on. They'll come out with little whistles at you, so it's, I mean, you're kind of being herded through, and there are people that are watching you very closely, but it's an amazing, amazing place.
Yep, there's so many things up here. I didn't realize that like most of the things on my list to see today are right up here in the Acropolis, so we've knocked off a ton of things. So many pretty old ancient structures, but it is also all very slippery because the floor is most of it is marble that has been worn down over centuries. So it's very slick. I'm glad we wore our grippier shoes, but we're still sliding all over the place.
Yeah. So now we're just going to walk around the slopes a little bit. There's other little minor archaeological sites along the way, and check this out before we actually head on to our next site.
Right next to the Acropolis is the Acropolis Museum, and so this has tons of artifacts from the Acropolis that you can come and see up close. And what's really neat is right underneath this museum is this big excavation site. Like, they built it right on top of some ancient ruins, and so there's lots of little areas where you can look down. They have a little window into seeing the ruins underneath you, and you can even see people in there doing excavations like while you're here looking at the museum. So now we're gonna go check this out.
So we're just leaving the Acropolis Museum, and there wasn't a lot of places where you could actually take photos or film things. It was actually kind of confusing because some places they allowed you to, some places they didn't allow you to. So we tried to get as much as we could in there, but it was a really, really cool museum, and it only cost 10 euros per person to go through it. But it ended up being really neat. Like, at the top floor was actually the coolest part because they had a bit of a reconstruction of the Parthenon and the different friezes and statues on there, so you could get a feel for it. Even like all the columns are in the right place and it's the same size. So that was really neat. But now we're going to be heading back to our place, and then along the way we're going to try to find something to eat, we think. But there's one more site we're going to try to do while we are here, because tomorrow we leave for an island. So we're going to go do as much as we can in Athens today, but really, really neat museum. Definitely recommend checking it out. So one of the amazing things about Athens has been all of these streets lined with these beautiful full orange trees. It just makes it so colorful and nice. However, we did look up online that the oranges are incredibly bitter, even worse than like a lemon, and so you can't actually eat them. But we did see that they do make beautiful flowers in certain times of the year that make the streets just smell amazing. And in the summer right now, it just makes the streets look amazing and delicious, even though you can't eat them. So we ended up not having one more site in us after all. Yesterday we got so tired from how much walking and going around. We did not realize how hilly Athens is. It really takes it out of you. But we got to see a vast majority of the sites that we wanted to see here. There's only one more really high hill that our Airbnb host just recommended that we go climb up because it's just a really, really neat viewpoint. But we got a cool view from Acropolis, so we felt pretty satisfied. Anyways, it is the following day, and we are catching a bus that will take us to the port, which will take us to a ferry, which will then take us an hour across the sea to the island of Kia, which is where we'll be spending the next week. And this is what we've been really excited for, is getting to see this kind of like iconic viewpoint or vantage point of Greece. So we're hoping for all of the like white and blue buildings, everything that you see. But anyways, we have a walk, quite a little walk to the bus stop, which will then be a 2-hour drive to the ferry point. So just this little walk and we'll be there.
So I read that you pay on the bus. No, I didn't. Someone told me that. So we heard that you're supposed to pay on the bus when you get on, but we got on the bus and it just started going. So maybe we pay when we get off. We'll let you know. But our traveling today is going to be a little more complicated than normal traveling from Athens to Greek islands, because we're going to the island of Kia, which is more of just a local Athenian island. It is not connected to the main ferry route. The main ferry just goes straight past it, and so we're having to go to Lavrio, which is about an hour south of Athens, and the bus ride I guess takes 2 hours, so it's a little longer, a little more complicated. But we wanted to go to Kia because it seems like it's a little less touristy, a little more local Athenians go there. So we are on the Catel Atticus, and it runs to Lavrio every hour. And so we just caught it this morning, and it'll take us 2 hours to get to Lavrio port. So the ticket taker got on the bus a few stops later, and he's just going by and you can buy your tickets, and it cost €5.30 each, so way cheaper than it would have been to take a taxi all the way to Lavrio, even though a taxi would only be like an hour. So we have time, so we decided to do the 2-hour bus ride.
How much did you say a taxi was going to be?
It was like 65 or something euros. It was a lot more, yeah. So I bought our ferry tickets online a few days ago, and I went ahead and got our ticket to Kia and back for next week. And so we just had to come up to the desk and give them our booking confirmation number, and then they exchanged it for little tickets for our ferry ride. So now we see the ferry just arrived, so we are walking with our tickets and our bags over to the ferry, and we're gonna see, I guess, what it's like.
Alright, we're getting settled in on the ferry, and it's a pretty basic ferry so far. There's kind of white benches all around that you just find a place to just sit. And we're technically on our ticket, it says like economy class. I don't know if there's actually like a first class or anything like that, but so we're gonna settle in here and get hopefully a pretty good view of Greece and of the other islands that we go by. There is a little snack stand so we can get snacks. But yeah, settled in on the ferry, and just in 1 hour we should be in Kia. So about halfway through the boat ride, I had to go to the restroom, and it turns out I totally mischaracterized this shit, because there was like a whole lounge that is air conditioned indoors. I didn't realize they have like arcade games and like a restaurant and TV and a bunch of really nice comfortable booths to sit in, so you don't have to just sit in the white benches that I thought you had to, like out on the deck. It's actually a really nice indoor portion that I had no clue it even existed. So a much nicer trip than we expected, but like I said, we're already like halfway through, so I feel kind of silly just now discovering this. We made it to Kia, and then right after we got off the boat, there were taxis lined up, so we just hopped in one, and they brought us up to a meeting point. We were supposed to be meeting our Airbnb host somewhere up here in the main town, but we don't know where, so we're gonna figure that out now.
I think we know where. Okay, I'm feeling good about Kia. I wasn't super sure when we were first driving up. I wasn't really seeing the classic white houses with the blue shutters and all of that, just stuff that I've been imagining. But then we drove up to the little town of, I can't say it, Ailwida? Not totally sure, I will practice that. But we got up here, we met our Airbnb host, and she walked us through the cute little town. There's no cars once you get past that certain point, once you get into the little town. Walked through these tiny little narrow streets, and there's just, it's all the cute white houses with the like kind of cobblestone path, and it's really small little paths, and like it's not crowded at all. Like I think we saw like one or two other tourists when we first got here, but it's mostly just heard people speaking in Greek, eating their lunches. Not crowded at all, just very relaxed Saturday. I think this is gonna be so good. I'm really, really excited. But the best part is the view from the top. And that's when I was looking at Airbnb and wanting to find a place. I was basing the house that I picked on if it had a pretty view. And I think this one fit the bill. Also, I think if we lived in this town, we would have killer thighs because it is like straight up, and then these stairs are straight up.
Look at that.
You can see the ocean way out there. And then we have the view of all these pretty white houses with beautiful shutters. And then we even have this like pretty lands, like just hills without houses. And they have this huge porch. I thought it was gonna be a tiny little porch. It like wraps all the way around here. And there's like just as much space on the other side too with little chairs. I'm gonna live up here this week. I'm so excited. Oh gosh, it keeps going this way. Oh my gosh, it wraps like all the way around. I don't really want to be back here. There's nothing to see. Donnie, let's move here. Yeah.
This view is so cool. You can even see like other islands off in the distance. It looks like a painting. Like this doesn't look real. And this wasn't very expensive either. We have this whole home. It's like 2-bedroom. You could easily fit like a family in this apartment. And 2 floors, has washer, it has dryer, kitchen, 2 bathrooms. And it was not that expensive. This was under our budget, so pumped. So cool.
We're never leaving. This is perfect. Oh, I'm so excited.
And our host left us a huge box of cookies that we're going to get to munch on, and coffee and waters.
Yeah.
They hooked us up.
Okay. Oh, so sweet.
It's kind of like an older looking home, but it's so like quaint and nice.
I didn't really want like a modern feeling house. I like that we have kind of a classic old feeling. Just feels Greek to me. I love it. So after getting to our Airbnb, we've just kind of relaxed this afternoon and have been enjoying views from our porch. It is beautiful. We're so excited. And tomorrow we're going to explore the town a little bit more, and also just a lot more the island.
So that will give you a reason to come and check out our next vlog whenever we really see this city. It looks like a really, really cool like local island, not super touristy, and just really low key. So we're really excited to get to do some hikes here and just walk through the little narrow alleyways and streets and just really get what we imagine a Greek island to feel like. So thanks so much for watching, guys. We hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe so you can keep with more of our adventures. We would love to have you travel with us.
Good night.